Hi there, this is Kathy Crow at the Crow Cottage. I hope, Mary, you're watching because I saw that you were online, and that would be nice to have somebody with me even for a few minutes. But today I am going to do this Climbing Roses card. And I sent out in my newsletter a little poll about what stamp set people would like to see, and I included I think I don't know, 3 options from the new Occasions catalog, and Climbing Roses one. So this is the one that we're going to do, and it's kind of a complicated card. I don't know how long it's going to take, and Jeff is home, so if he wakes up, he's going to come in here and wonder what we're doing. So I'm going to swing the camera around and you can watch. I'm going to just see if I can find me online. It's difficult for me to do that. So hold on a second while I get that going. And then I did want to mention just a couple of things today. I've got my class coming up this weekend is a Valentine's one meant to be class. It's pretty full, both Friday and Saturday. I do it Friday at 10 a.m. and also on Saturday at 10 a.m. and that's till noon. And then I put down here where you need to register if you would like to come. It's just at our house, and I need you to register because this last week it reminded me why I haven't been very strict about making people register by a certain day, but I'm going to have to be. By this Wednesday, you have to register if you want to be at this class. This last weekend, I actually had a memorial service that I had to do some things for, and I ended up having to cancel last Saturday's class, which was fine, except for there was someone who had not registered who didn't get the information that it was canceled because she didn't register. And I'm terribly sorry when things like that happen. I don't want those things to happen, but it just reminded me that I really need to be strict about making sure that everybody registers. And I'll be sending out some information about that in my newsletter. Please message me to get the newsletter. It is, I do a project in it, and sometimes I put the details. Actually, I think what I'm going to have to start doing, I've been using my this Facebook page's notes for projects, and I can continue to do that, but it's hard sometimes to find that on Facebook. So, I think what I might have to do is actually start another blog. I used to do one with my garden, and I kind of stopped doing it and just did my Facebook page. But Facebook just doesn't give you the opportunity, really. For instructions for a card like this, you need a lot more. I don't know. You just need a lot more space and place to put pictures and things than what I am able to do with Facebook. So anyhow, I'm just saying all of that to encourage you to message me so that you can be signed up to get my newsletter. And then I'm going to also, as I'm making this card, I'm going to talk about becoming part of my team, because right now this is the best time to join Stampin' Up! You will never have a better opportunity to do it than right now. Until March 31st is the best time to do it, and I'm gonna just explain why you might want to do that, because actually most of us don't want to sell Stampin' Up! Stuff or even hold classes, and you do not have to do that. Being part of my team just means that you get special treatment. You become a hobby demonstrator, which means that you have your own discount for your for the products that you buy through Stampin' Up. You are not buying them through me anymore. You buy them on your own with your own discount, a 20% discount all the time, which is really sweet. And you also get a lot of special information about projects, things that we do here at the Crow Cottage just for people on my team. Just a lot of more love and support than you're getting as just a customer. And I really hate to say that, but it's true. So I do love my customers and I try to be good to them, but there's only so much I can do really for them. And when you're a part of my team, it's actually more like a family. So anyhow, I'm picking at my card here because I did this really fast. I didn't know if I would have time to do it. I cut this into just your basic 5.5 by 8.5 piece, and I'm just gonna fold it in half and not worry about my bone folder. When I got this stamp set, I am going to really enjoy coloring this, stamping it in my black Memento ink and then coloring it. But for this card, I wanted to show you that you can do a really nice layered card without a lot of work. And I don't know if you can see that on this card I've used the copper embossing powder for the this rose, and it's shiny and silver or shimmery, and I used some copper cord that was left over that I had, and I'm not sure if this is exactly what's in the catalog. I know they have copper cord, but I'm not exactly sure if this is identical. This is the Share What You Love Artisan Pearls. They're really cute. You get a variety of colors in that pack, and if you decide to be a member of my team, you are going to get all kinds of free stuff from Stampin' Up, but you will also get a nice, really nice free thank you from me for joining me. So anyhow, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just show you the emboss part that we did with the copper ink. We're going to emboss this one with this and this one with this stamp, and then the Sending Love we're going to emboss with this is Grapefruit Grove embossing powder on a little gold finlet framelit. I use these the stitched shapes Finlets to cut these out. I'm going to have to cut out this trellis and this and the leaves. I didn't want to cut out too much stuff because it gets a little old watching me cut things out. So I'm going to show you how I did this oval, and that's underneath here, and we're going to emboss this. So I'm going to kind of push these things aside, but we're going to need this, I'm going to put this up here, right? I'm not sure where to put it because I want to be able to see it, but I don't want it right in my way. And we're going to emboss this piece and this piece, okay? So when you emboss, it's actually one of the coolest ways to get a lot of really good shiny stuff on your card without it having to take a lot of time. Coloring this would take quite a bit of time, and by embossing, I'm just kind of skipping that step. So use your Versamark, and I'm going to grab my blocks out, and we'll get going on this. One of the things I really like about Stampin' Up, it'd help if I put this on the right way. If you don't like something, or if it's not working, this is a great time to buy that Big Shot that we're going to be practicing a lot with, because I need to cut out a couple of things with the stitched labels framelits, and of course that trellis I'm going to cut out. You have a guarantee both from the Sizzix company that your Big Shot comes from, but you also have a guarantee from me and your and Stampin' Up when you purchase the Big Shot through them, and that's actually pretty important information. Now, I'm going to put this piece of paper under here because I want to catch my embossing powder and then put it back in here so I'm not wasting a lot of stuff. And I think before I actually stamp this, I'm going to just get all of my stamps ready so I can just get it all embossed in one shot and use my heat gun and and get, well, we'll set this aside because I'll do that separate, okay? But anyway, you get your guarantee. So get your Big Shot through me. Get it through Stampin' Up. Don't try to get it a different way, because once on the rare chance that it's not working exactly right and you need to replace it, that is going to be an easy process if you bought it through Stampin' Up. Not necessarily so easy if you do it through somebody else. So I'm just going to put this on the card, kind of like right here. Doesn't really matter so much where I'm doing it, but after I get it stamped, I'm going to want to get my powder on here pretty quick because I don't want that to dry. And you know what? I forgot to put my little embossing buddy on here, so I'll do it on the other corner because that actually makes a neater. Let's see how this worked, because I might need to do it again. See, my embossing buddy would have prevented the powder from sticking in all of these little spots. Let me flick it a little bit because that actually might take care of it pretty well. It did, so that's good. But this little embossing buddy is really useful, so I want to do it in the other corner. It's just, I think it's cornstarch or something in there, but it keeps your powder where you want it, not, oops, my thumb's getting on the design. And this one I kind of just stuck in the corner here. I'm gonna have a little rose down there, so I don't think I'm gonna worry about where I'm putting it too much. Okay. There, now see how much cleaner that came off because I used that embossing buddy. There's only a tiny bit here and there, and if I was going to be really particular, I'd get my paintbrush, but I think it's going to be fine because I've got a lot of stuff going on that card. So I'm going to just take all of my embossing powder and scoot it right back into the container that it came in. And then before I get my heat gun out, I'm going to get that label. And, oops, there's still a little tiny bit left in there. Okay, so I'm going to scoot this over here and then put this away because I'm done with that. The other one is, I'm going to emboss this Sending Love. I'm going to actually not use this Versamark. I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo because I want to make sure I'm getting a good strong pink color. And let me clean off my stamp really quickly. And one thing you want to do with our new stamps, they cling really good to the block. But because they are clinging so good, you don't want to leave them on for hours and hours. So when you have it on your block, you know, make sure that you're getting it off there within a few hours. Obviously, it's not going to matter if you leave it on there for a while, but you just don't want to leave it on there for hours and hours. So now I'm going to do this little Sending Love on the okay, and you can see my prayer list here. Okay, so we're going to stamp this with Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to just kind of put it over on the side. And then I'm going to put my Grapefruit Grove powder on that pretty quickly because that Flirty Flamingo is not quite as sticky as the Versamark. Oops. And so I want to get that on there pretty fast. And I forgot my embossing buddy again. Good grief. I'm just having all kinds of problems today. I could emboss it on the other side if I have to, and I might have to because I really should have done the embossing buddy because it does make a difference. And there's going to be enough crumbs kind of there. I don't want that. So let me do it again really quick. Ooh. Okay, we'll clean it off. Rub my embossing buddy on there. We'll stick this on the Flirty Flamingo. Get a good stamped impression, and then we'll put some more powder on there and try it again. Much better. Okay, that one worked out much, much better. So I'm gonna just rub off my powder a little so I don't get confused. It actually doesn't look like it stuck as well there as I wanted. So there we go, that's better. We're gonna put that aside. And let me put my powder away before I sneeze into it or something. It's powder, so it's messy, but it's nothing like glitter. You're gonna be much happier with your embossing powder. It's not nearly as sticky. It doesn't get all over everything. It's much easier to clean up. Okay, so we're done with our Flirty Flamingo. We'll put that away. I hope you guys are having a nice long weekend. Jeff's got 2 days off. Sweet deal. And I know a bunch of people were gonna go do some things. Some people went to the mountains yesterday and had some fun and some snow. I think Dayton sounded like they had a really good time. So I was a little jealous of that. Now the noise from my heat gun is going to be a little bit much for you, but bear with me while I heat this up. You're going to get to see how the embossing powder just melts, and it makes it's another. The reason they call it embossing powder is because it actually, when it melts, is raised. It raises up a little bit. And you see what a nice color that's turning? Very pretty. And then on my little gold paper, it's especially nice. So that one is done. So we're gonna set that one up there, and we'll do the roses. This copper embossing powder is really shiny. Once it gets going, you can really see it go. I don't know if you can from where you are, but I can see it when it starts to melt and change. It's really cool. This is just a really nice way to add some flair to your cards without really having to have a lot of skill. You just need your heat gun and that powder and some stamps and a Versamark, and you can make all kinds of really cool things. It does take a little bit of time to heat it. I do have to admit, when you're doing a whole bunch of cards, embossing is not my favorite thing to do, but when you're only doing one card, it's nice. Okay, now for some reason, this embossed really nice, and this side didn't. Like, I can hardly see any of my... That is just really weird. I have never had that happen before. We're gonna go ahead and keep working with it, but I've never had my powder not raise and look shiny. And I used the same stuff on this. Why is it? That is just bizarre. You know what? I'm gonna salvage this because that just is driving me crazy. We are gonna layer this card. I wasn't intending to, but we are now going to because I want to get that again. I didn't like that at all. That was just craziness. And I think I'm gonna use, let me get a spare piece of white paper to put my powder on this time. I want to see what's going on with that. That was just strange. Okay, so we'll get it out again. We're going to do the same thing for the roses. At least my other stamp came out fine, so I don't have to worry about that. We're going to use the embossing buddy this time, so I don't have to do it again. If I can find it. What did I do with it? Now I can't find where I put you, little embossing buddy. Where did you go? Huh. I know you're here, but I can't see you. Okay, so I'm gonna have to clean my desk a little bit, I guess, just to see where I put my embossing buddy. He disappeared on me. Do you ever do that? Do you set things down and totally lose track of them? I do it quite a bit. Oh, there he is. Okay. He just disappeared way over here in the corner. All right, now he's back, and we'll rub him all over here. This is not what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm a little bit concerned about my powder. I'm going to shake it up because that was just weird. So, anyhow, I'm going to ink this up like this, and I'm going to make sure it's good and sticky this time. Maybe I knocked the powder off or something. I don't know. I don't think so. And then we will get the copper on there. Okay, you can be really liberal because you are going to just be dumping it all back in there anyway. Only a little bit stays on your card. And then we will put this guy in the corner, kind of like that. And put our powder on there too. And then I'm going to close this up before I start messing with any more powder and put it aside and try this again. Okay, now it looks really good. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, I do have other powder, but wow, I'll be not happy if I have to get that out. Okay, here we go. One more time with the heat gun. Sorry about that. I like to use a pan or something. This heat gun's actually pretty hot once it gets heated up. So you don't want it to be getting on your fingers. So that side, of course, went really nice, just like I expected it to. And the side's going great too. I don't know what happened. Did I not put powder on it? I think I did. I don't know. I'm just thinking now, what did I do? I must have done something. If you saw me not put powder on it and then just heat it up without putting powder, then you can message me. Or you can even just comment that, yeah, I didn't put any on, and that's why it was not, that's why it wasn't, that's why there was no powder on there. There is some here, though, so I know I did. All right, sometimes you just have to do things again. Okay. With Stampin' Up's joining special right now, again, as a hobby demonstrator, you're never expected to sell. You don't get pressure from me. You won't get pressure from Stampin' Up either, but you won't get any pressure from me to sell stuff because I know I don't really like doing it myself as far as trying to get people to buy things. And really, the products are so nice, you don't really even have to do it. If people know you're selling it, they will come to you because these stamp sets are so pretty. And the colors are always coordinated. So we're going to use the trellis. This Rose Trellis Thinlits dies comes with the Climbing Roses. Buy it as a bundle because you save 10%. Now imagine if you were a hobby demonstrator, you would be saving 30% on this bundle as a hobby demonstrator because you would have your 20% off and you would have the 10% off that comes when you buy it as a bundle. So anyhow, it's just lots of reasons why you want to do that. And actually, you could even get together with some friends and you could go in on it, choose one of you to be the hobby demonstrator, and you could chip in, each of you, if you buy the 99-cent or $99 dollar starter kit, that would only be about $35 after, you know, shipping and well, actually shipping is free. You don't even have shipping and handling, tax, let's say. But anyway, $33, $35 each, and you could be getting all of those savings. So I'm going to cut out the Rose Trellis in white. So I'm going to move some things away. I need to be able to get that big shot out here. Okay, so let me grab that and put that up here. The big shot is where you just get a lot of really nice things. I want this trellis in white, so I'm going to put down the magnetic plate. Now the magnetic plate doesn't come with this. You will want to buy it because it does make it easier to do. And I used that white paper that I was going to use for my trellis. I actually used it, but I'm gonna use it anyway. It'll work. It'll work. It just has some embossing powder on the back there, but it won't hurt anything. So you're gonna see how quick and easy it is to get this trellis cut out. It's just super cute on this card. I love this. Okay. Now, I'm going to throw that away. And let me grab this. This is the little weeding tool that you can purchase. And look how quickly you can get this trellis right out of there. It just pops out. Sweet deal. And then my trellis itself, I want to make sure I've cleaned it and it'll be ready to go on the next card. There's still little white chads. Do you remember the hanging chad issue several elections ago? And with your Big Shot, you also get this cool pokey tool, which I'll probably be needing in just a minute. So we're going to keep the trellis over here. And let's see what else I need to cut out. I also need to cut out a couple of stitched labels. Let me put my trellis away. And in the stitched label packet, this is the stitched label framelits. There's this little circle. There's several cool labels. And I'm going to use this detailed rectangular one, and I want that in what have I got around here? I've got some green. I think this is Pear Pizzazz, and I'm gonna just running short on time here. I want to just get a little bit here, so I'm just tearing it. And since I'm right here, I'm going to throw in that too. Actually, since I am right here, I'm going to just, since I've got other papers there, I'm going to put some of the other labels down too. I might as well do it all with one pass. Okay? Because I will use these. So when I do at night, I have been losing weight, and this is one of the reasons I've been losing weight. If you've been watching me for very long, you've seen that I have lost about 70 pounds in the last 6 months, and I have 65 more pounds to go. So I am more than halfway now. I am so thankful. God is just so good to me. He has been really good to get the weight off, because I keep telling everyone I can diet and I can exercise, but I cannot make the weight come off. That is something only God can accomplish. And I've tried many diets and methods, and they don't always work for me at this age. When I was younger, they did, but they don't anymore. So I'm going to pop those out, but I need to get my Big Shot out of the way before I can do that. And actually, before I do, I need to get this pink one with this one. So let's grab that out. And I also need to clean those little... Now this is where it can get tedious. So as I said, I'm losing weight by doing Stampin' Up! Because when I like to have a bunch of these labels all ready to go. And they do some of them. This one actually takes a little bit of time to poke out all those little holes, because that weeder just isn't efficient enough for me. It does do the job, but I'm impatient and I want to get it done. So there, now it is done. So I'm going to put that aside, and we'll get the pink paper out. I think I've got some, well, I'm just going to use the same Flirty Flamingo cardstock. On this one, I believe I had a label in there that was from watermelon. I think this is Watermelon Wonder, which is a color that Stampin' Up! Is not doing right now. And oh, I'm so sorry because I loved Watermelon Wonder. That was a good one. But I apparently had done a label with it. And actually, this is gonna look even better. So I'm not sorry about that. It'll be even more color coordinated, if you will. Okay, that's put away. We'll pop this guy out, and then I'll clean him up later. I'm gonna just stick him in there. And these, I'm actually gonna have to run those through because there's so many details on it. I'm gonna turn that over because otherwise those are gonna start making a big mess there. With this weeding tool, you see there, look at that. All those little holes popped right out without any effort at all. Sweet. And it has all these cute little stitched things all around. Sorry for the clock. That one we'll put away. There's this little label, which I use this particular one a lot. Now I have to be a little careful popping it out because I don't want to tear those little edges right there. Sweet. And then that's just like a little ticket comes out. That one's cute too. And the little stitched circle. So let me put all those little things back in there. Put that out of the way, and we'll get this out of the way. And we'll get my card back out here. And now we're to the part that's the quick and easy part, because now we're just assembling. So I'm going to put the trellis down, and I am going to put this label here. But as you can see in my card, I did a little kind of trying to tie the colors in a little bit. In the stamp set, there's this little hexagon stamp that's pretty cute. So I'm going to put some Flirty Flamingo on that, and we're going to do that right here. I need to move these things out of the way because I'm going to have to stamp off of the label. Okay. So it's got these little, well, they do match, they do go in. Why am I, oh there, I think I did it. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna go like this. No, I think what I did is I should have started stamping it from the other way, because you can actually match this up, and for some reason, I don't know what I did. I didn't get it quite the way I wanted it. Oh well. Doesn't matter. It's going to be fine. It's random enough that it doesn't really matter if you don't know what you're doing, which is exactly what I'm doing right now, because I thought I had it. I was doing it in kind of a rush there. Okay. Anyway, the middle part is going to be covered up somewhat anyhow, so it doesn't really matter so much. There. Okay, because my label is going to cover up some of that. What a dope. I'm not sure why I do know why. I was in a rush. I wanted to get this done. Let me look and see. I'm such a fuss budget. I like things to be done nicely. Yeah, it's pretty good, but you know what? I'm going to turn it over and do it again, because I need this edge to be the one that I'm matching up. Okay, so I did it this way, and now I'm turning it so that I can match that edge up. And when you get your stamp set, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Because there are these little ways to overlap it. I think I must have had beginner's luck when I did this earlier today, because I'm having a lot more trouble this time than I did earlier. It's still not right. And I bet I'm not gonna like this side any better. No, actually I am. That is better. Okay, so we're gonna go with that side. This is why I like layered cards too, is because if you flub it, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's gonna work fine. I'm gonna put this side here because it's gonna show a little bit less. I'm gonna put that there. It's gonna look great, right? Let me turn this, see if I like that side better. Nah, I don't. I like it better like this. And then this is gonna go under here, and this is gonna go here, although it's gonna actually go on top like that. And then in that rose thinlits, this rose trellis, it has these cute little leaves you can cut out, so I already cut those out, and it cuts out the little tiny rose. There's a little tiny rose stamp, and I stamped it in Flirty Flamingo, and then I took my little Granny Apple Green and colored the leaf, and I stamped it on Petal Pink paper or cardstock. So that is done and cut out because I knew this is going to take long enough. A layered card is not hard to do. It does take a little bit of time. It's worth it. That's one reason I cut these things out at night. Instead of eating while I'm watching TV, I don't eat. I am cutting out little labels and stamping away over there, and that keeps me from eating. It's been wonderful. The other thing about this card that I decided to do, just to give it a little more zing and help that green to, to look like it's not just stuck on there. It's more color coordinated. I'm going to color those leaves, and that actually is not going to take very much time. You're going to want to get out your Granny Apple Green marker. I think that's what I'm using. Yeah, and this is the pointy end. I actually want this to go a little bit faster. So I'm gonna just do that. Now let me look and see, is that really the right color? Yeah, it is. When it first goes on, it's just a little bit darker than you're thinking you're gonna like. And so that's why I checked, because yeah, I did that earlier today too. I looked at it and thought, no, that looks almost like a gray kind of color, but when it dries, it's a nice green, even on this Flirty Flamingo, which is a really dark pink color. Anyway, you would not have, if you want to do a very quick and easy card, look how pretty it is even without doing this. In fact, I think there are going to be many people watching this video who are going to think, oh, she's spoiling it by putting on that Granny Apple Green. It was beautiful before you did that. So you could leave it and it would be gorgeous. Many people, like I said, would even prefer to see it without any green on there. One reason I'm doing it is because it is helping to define my roses a little bit here, because it's a pretty detailed picture and it's a little bit hard to see where's the rose and where's a petal, where's a stem. So with a little bit of green in there, it defines your roses just a bit. And you could possibly, I didn't think about it, but one thing you could do, it would be really pretty, would be to use your chalk marker. Your chalk marker will leave it almost completely white. It might be a little bit pink, but with a different color coordination, I think that would look really cool. Or you could do, in fact, I think I've seen somebody do this stamp set on like a black cardstock, and they colored just the roses with that white chalk, and it was really pretty. So there's a bunch of things you can do. When you've embossed your image like this, though, it makes coloring it much better. I'm not having to worry about the ink smearing into my color and making it, or even, I don't have to worry about it disappearing either. That embossing is gonna just stay nice and shiny and vivid, even under my ink. So there are many reasons why I like to emboss. Another thing they call embossing is like where the stitched edge is. The stitched edge, or when an image is pressed in I don't have one handy, but you know, they call that embossing. Now the other thing about this that I decided to do is I took, oh, what pen color did I use? I don't know, I'll have to experiment a little bit, but I took one of the pinks and I just lightly went in around the edges and then with a little bit of yellow. But comparing these two cards, I don't even really have to do it. It still looks pretty good, but I am gonna do the yellow. I think that pops out. This is Pineapple Punch. So there's these little stamens in the middle of your rose, where the rose is fully open, and those are yellow. Those are always yellow. They are cute. The bees are the ones who like that part. And then with my pink, I think I used probably one of the lightest pinks. I don't remember. Let's check it out and see what happens. I'm sure I wrote it down, but I don't know where my paper is. I've got everything all tossed around. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And this one is Petal Pink. And it makes it pretty dark at first. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it goes on pretty dark at first. And that's just, this cardstock, remember, was Flirty Flamingo. This is just going to give a little bit of dimension to your flowers. And I'm just going on the lines. And I could go around the edges if I wanted to, but I'm not going to take a long time to do that. These are much darker, so you could even color those in. That would look pretty good. Okay, pretty fast work. And now we're ready to assemble. Now obviously I'm going to have to set this now on top of another card, and I'm going to glue it on there, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. This would have been a complete card by the time I was finished if I hadn't somehow, well, I didn't even do it if that embossing powder had cooperated with me and actually done the embossing. Your Tombow glue is in the catalog, in the big catalog, and you just put a tiny dab of this down. You can also get Tombow in any craft store. Again, remembering, get that discount, okay? You get 20% off of everything. That includes all your supplies, so you would be able to get it cheaper if you were a hobby demonstrator, or in any time you're a hobby demonstrator. All that means is that you're not being pressured to buy anything or do anything with it. The reason people want to be more than a hobby demonstrator is so that they can earn some more free things. So you are always able to do that. There's no distinction really. I mean, you're just called a demonstrator. The distinction really is for me to know whether you want to be helped to grow your business, or whether you want to, oh, I got glue down there and that's sticky now, or whether you want to be basically left alone. Okay, so we're going to put this on with a dimensional, but I believe I just glued this on with this Tombow. So let me put some of that on there. And it is very sticky glue. It works pretty good. It also dries faster than my rubber cement that I normally use. And this card is such that I don't care about things being a little bit caterwonky. Like my trellis, I don't think I got it on perfectly, but it's not going to make any difference at all. So let me grab my dimensionals, and we will put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this little stitched label. Now again, anytime you share videos, you get entered into a drawing, and I'm going to do a drawing here in a little bit and see who wins the prize for this week. And so you want to share my videos, share my cards. I'll post this card in a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, I do want this to be up. I'm going to post it, and then if you share that, you get to be entered too. I've got Tombow glue down on this paper, so it's like mega sticky. And then also, if you want any information about classes and other things, message me to get my newsletter. This is going to be, see, I do kind of like that dark one a little better, but that was Watermelon Wonder, so we're out of luck on that. I don't even know if I have any Watermelon Wonder left. I might, but that's just going to go right there. Okay, and then I'm going to put another little dot, oh, kind of like right there, another dimensional, peel that up. And then I need to layer my little, that copper cord. Let me grab some. I didn't bring that over. Okay, so I actually cut way too much. That's okay, because I might do a little bow if I've got a lot of extra. So I could just wrap this around my hands and shove it on here, but I'm going to just be a little more careful about it, because now I'm thinking I might want to do a little bow. Okay, so we'll do that. And we'll put my little leaves on here. And once we get the leaves on here, we're gonna put another dimensional, kind of seal the deal, and then we will put that little flower on top, just like that. Oops, my finger stuck to it. Voila! Isn't that sweet? I love it. And then the little pearls, how cute. Thank you, you guys, for selecting this project. I would not have made this today if you had not said this is the one you wanted to do, because there's actually a whole bunch. I've got a Sweetest Thing class coming up, too, that I'm excited to get in there on that stamp set and get going on it, because there's so many things I think I can do with that. And oh, we just did that pet one, and I'm so sorry I had to cancel that class because it was so cute. I want to do that pet one again because it was adorable. And, ooh, I got a pearl that slipped off, so let's get it on there. It's an extra one that I didn't intend to get on here, but we'll stick it on there anyway. Okay, so this obviously I'm going to have to glue onto a card, but I'm not going to take the time to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to swing the camera up to say my goodbyes to you. I don't like to just say goodbye without, oh, yay, Dan is watching, Melissa Kinsey. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys are having a great time. I don't know if you're still there. At least, I don't know why it's not coming up on my other Facebook. I've got it going up there, and it didn't show that anybody was here, so I'm sorry I didn't see you. You know, it isn't just me. I can see that video over there, and it doesn't show anything. My face is all red because it's kind of warm. It's so sunny. Look at this out there, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? I am going out on a bike ride right now. So I hope you are having a great holiday. Enjoy your week. Tune in again on Monday. I'm going to do the drawing. I don't know if I will get to it Friday I don't know. I've got a really busy week, so I'm not sure exactly, but I'll get to the drawing. The last drawing, Mary Crow won, Karen Gardner won something. I think I've got a bunch of stuff here. I got to get it out. And so if you're waiting for your prizes, it is coming. Okay. I'm slow. This has been pretty, and it's only going to get busier. Spring is super busy for me because I garden a lot. Have a great day. Bye.